Hi everyone, it's Kimberly Knight, and I'm going to be reading part of my book Tattoo Dots for Chapter 1 Live. This is a contemporary romance novel. It's part of my Halo series, and it can be read as a standalone because book 2, which will be out in October, is actually about their friends. It's in dual point of views too, and I'm going to be reading part of the prologue, which is in the male's point of view. Prologue, Easton. The moment I held my beautiful baby girl Cheyenne in my arms 5 years ago, I swore to myself that I would never let anything happen to her. Her mom Dana and I married right out of high school. We had no idea what we were getting into, and then before I knew it, she was pregnant with Cheyenne. When Dana held her hand out with a pregnancy test, smiling and jumping for joy, I thought nothing could go wrong in my world. I was doing what I thought we were supposed to do: marriage, babies, forever. We were high school sweethearts. Now those high school sweethearts sit at 2 separate wood tables inside a courtroom, awaiting a judge to tell me how much I owe the bitch who gave me the greatest gift I never realized I wanted or needed. We had been sitting in the courtroom for 5 days straight. We didn't have much to fight over, but the one thing I wouldn't budge on was my daughter. Dana was trying to do everything in her power to get full custody. She even went so far as to have her attorney request the judge order a drug test for me. Of course, the drug test came back negative. I hadn't smoked weed or done anything else but drink since before the bitch was pregnant. Now, as the trial was coming to an end, my nerves were running through me, and I wanted to do nothing but roll a fat one and blow the smoke in her cunt face. Over the last year of our rocky marriage, Dana acted like an angel and painted me as the bad guy. We used to smoke up after the high school Friday night football games, and we would party with the rest of the school. We didn't stop smoking because it was bad for us. We quit because we were poor and needed all our extra cash to eat, especially since we were kids playing house with an extra mouth to feed in less than 9 months. The day Dana told me she was pregnant, I answered an ad for a shoot and started my modeling career. I'm not going to lie and tell you that we are getting divorced because of Dana and her nagging ways. I'll tell you the truth. I cheated on her repeatedly with whores. It was so easy when all the whore saw was a pretty face and a nice body, and Dana stayed home to take care of Cheyenne. Part of me regrets the cheating aspect of my marriage, but part of me is relieved. We married so young, and I couldn't imagine spending my whole life with a nagging, screaming bitch of a wife. Now she sits to the right of me, tapping her French manicure nails on the table, and all I want to do is walk over there and rip them off her fucking fingers. I know she was doing it to get under my skin. This is her last slap in my face because she knows she's not getting full custody of Cheyenne. Hell would freeze over before I let some judge rip my heart from my chest and hand it to Dana on a silver platter. I looked at the clock as it ticked, second by second, minute by minute, and I heard words spoken, but I wasn't paying attention. The trial had already dragged on for a week because of all the character witnesses, a vocational job expert testifying, and our attorneys building our cases. Dana was playing dirty, and so was I. If she wanted to pretend I was doing drugs in front of Cheyenne, then she needed to get a job. No more supporting her ass. Of course, Dana didn't want a job. She wanted to live off my gigs and the work I did for her father at his landscaping business. As soon as the trial was over and the judge issued his order, I was quitting that fucking job. The less she knew about my life, the better. I didn't need her father bossing me around and then reporting my every action back to her. Plus, it'd be less spousal support that I would owe her. I made enough money modeling to support my baby girl, and that was all I cared about. Dana's father, Bill, paid too little for me to want to stick around and work for him. If my gig started to slow down, I'd find another back-breaking job. Monday, you're going to need to start preparing something to tell the judge I have less income. I leaned over and whispered to my attorney as I remembered I was quitting. Why? She whispered back. Yes, I had a female attorney, and she was smoking too. I initially hired Allison because I knew Dana would think I was fucking her. Okay, I was fucking her, but we were exchanging services. I gave her mind-blowing orgasms, and she gave me discounted legal advice and representation. All right, we were more than fucking. I'd buy her a meal or two so she thought we were dating. Plus, she was a kick-ass attorney, and I loved watching her toned, lightly tanned legs walk in front of the table in her skirt while she examined a witness or presented evidence to the judge. I'm quitting Parker & Sons, I replied, leaning closer to smell her perfume that would linger on me after we had sex. You're what? She whispered, eyes wide with confusion. I'll tell you when this shit is over, I whispered back, looking over her shoulder to see Dana staring at us. Just to dig at her more, I placed my hand on Allison's thigh, which was in plain view of Dana's evil eye, and inched it up between Allison's legs. Allison grabbed my hand, gave me a stern look, and nudged her head towards the judge. What? I asked with a wicked grin. Buck, I was just trying to make her fantasy come true. One night after a meeting, she told me that she wanted to be laid bare on a table in a courtroom and fucked until she couldn't walk. I guess that fantasy didn't include my soon-to-be ex-wife in the same room, or an old judge who was on the verge of dying on his bench. After an hour of being questioned in front of the courtroom, Dana's attorney finally released my best friend Avery from the hot seat. Of course, he said nothing that would lead anyone to believe that I was a bad father, like Dana was accusing me of being. Avery and I had been friends far longer than Dana and I had been together. We played baseball together from when we were 4 until our senior year of high school. He went off to college while Dana and I played house. I knew I should have gone with him and used my baseball scholarship to Florida State instead of listening to Dana tell me she couldn't live without me. But that's a whole different story that I don't want to talk about. Let's just say I wasn't using the right head. And that is part of the prologue for Tattoo Dots. You can read the rest of it on my website at authorkimberlyknight.com under the book tabs, and then find Tattoo Dots, and it's on there. Or just go ahead and one-click the link below and buy it today. I hope you enjoyed my video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.